Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. So today I'd like to introduce you to one of the models from Bosch Pro's 18-volt range, the GSA 18V28 reciprocating saw. But I won't say any more for now. Let's check it out in the next segment. See you in a bit. So here is the reciprocating saw in question, the Bosch Pro GSA 18-volt 28. So it's a pretty substantial machine, and above all, it's compatible with all AMP share batteries, as well as, of course, Bosch Pro's 18-volt batteries. That means if you already own tools from the same range, you can reuse those batteries with this machine. While we're on the topic of batteries, just know that to get the best performance, and especially to ensure good longevity when using this reciprocating saw, I really recommend going with at least a 4 amp hour or even a 5 amp hour battery. That way, you'll be even better off. On the other hand, you can of course also use a 2 amp hour battery, but you'll get slightly less performance, but the weight will also be a bit lower, which might give you a better grip. As for the motor, we're looking at Bosch Pro's latest generation brushless motors, since this is the bi-turbo brushless model. So that means better battery life management, longer motor lifespan, and also maximum performance. When it comes to handling, it's pretty good, even though, let's be honest, it's still a fairly heavy machine since it weighs 3.5 kilos. That's the weight of the machine without the battery. Of course, it's also a machine that's meant to be used with both hands. And as you can see at the front, the design is really well done, offering a good grip with this slightly narrower area here, which really gives you a solid hold on the machine and, above all, great control. There's also a grip that covers this entire front part as well as the handle. That way, you get maximum comfort. And as for the trigger, it fits nicely under your fingers, provided, of course, that you deactivate the safety button, which is also quite accessible and easy to use, and most importantly, prevents the machine from starting up on its own. And as you can see, there's also a pretty effective motor brake. When it comes to adjustments, of course, just like on many reciprocating saws, you can control the speed by pressing the trigger more or less firmly. But on this model, there's an extra adjustment because you can set the orbital mode simply by turning it on or off. This is kind of like the pendulum mode you usually find on jigsaws, and it lets you make even more efficient cuts and also extend the lifespan of your blades. As for changing the blade, you'll see there's no lever here. You just need to fully insert the blade, and there's a spring system that simply locks the blade into place. There you go, just press and the blade is securely in position. See, there was no lever involved. And to remove it, it's just as easy. You just need to operate the lever here, turn it all the way, and you can release the blade. And like more and more models designed for professionals, there's also a hook on top that's pretty easy to access, which lets you hang this reciprocating saw up high, for example, by hooking it onto a stepladder. And as for the accessories that come with this reciprocating saw, you should know that most of the time this tool is sold bare, meaning without a battery or charger, but you can still find it in its L-box style case. And in any case, you'll get 2 blades, one for metal and one for wood, which will let you start cutting as soon as you buy this tool, provided, of course, that you already have batteries on hand. And finally, just before we see a demonstration of this reciprocating saw and watch it in action, let's talk a bit about its technical specifications. So earlier, I mentioned the motor. Now let's talk a bit about the stroke speed. On this model, the stroke speed is 2,900 strokes per minute, which is still quite significant, even though there are models on the market that can reach up to 3,200 strokes per minute. So there really isn't a big difference between the two. As for the stroke length, we're looking at 28 millimeters, which will allow you to cut through wood up to 230 millimeters thick and metal up to 20 millimeters thick. This really places this machine in the high-end range of reciprocating saws. Now, let's see how this machine performs in action by cutting, a pallet board. Of course, I have fitted the blade that's suitable for this type of material. I've also activated the orbital mode to see how it works. And of course, I'm holding the machine with both hands to have maximum control over the saw. You can see, no problem at all. A quick, clean, and efficient cut, even though at first I was a bit surprised by the machine starting up, but otherwise the control is good, really no issues. This time, let's make it a bit more challenging by adding some nails that I've inserted into my pallet board. As for the blade, I haven't changed anything because it's actually a bimaterial blade compatible with both wood and metal. So here too, no difficulty at all. I did feel a bit of scraping when it made contact with the nails, but honestly, no problem. As you saw, we're dealing with a machine that more than gets the job done and will allow you to cut through wood up to 230 millimeters thick. On the motor side, it's equipped with Bosch Pro's latest generation motor, specifically the bi-turbo brushless model, which gives you better battery life management and also a longer motor lifespan. As for performance, it's also impressive, with a stroke speed that can reach up to 2,900 strokes per minute and a stroke length of 28 millimeters, which really puts this reciprocating saw in the high-end range of saws on the market. When it comes to handling, it's pretty good, even though this machine is a bit heavy. 3.5 kilos, that's the weight of the machine without the battery. But since you hold it with both hands, and on top of that, it's the support that carries most of the weight, not you. So as a result, it's not a problem at all. Plus, I find the ergonomics are pretty well designed, especially at the front, which really gives you a good grip and solid control of the machine. Finally, as for the price, you should know that this reciprocating saw is usually sold bare, meaning without battery or charger, for around 220 euros. So yes, it's true that the price is fairly high, but honestly, considering its performance and the level of equipment, especially with how easy and quick it is to change the blade, there is also the orbital action, which is a plus for this type of tool, not to mention, of course, the performance, and especially the bi-turbo motor, which will really let you make fast and efficient cuts. So if you're looking for a model that can keep up with you through all your demolition work with solid performance, honestly, this is the one you need. And as always, if you're interested in this reciprocating saw, feel free to check out the description. I'll put the references for the best sellers for you, at least those offering this tool at the best price. Alright, this video is now coming to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't hesitate to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And in any case, I'll see you very soon for a new video. It was great seeing you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.